What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. As you can see, I'm back in the original studio today. I got to drive home for Thanksgiving break and watch the USA and Wales game with my family, but let me tell you guys about what to expect from this video. So I'm going to kick things off with just a brief summary of the game, followed by some takeaways and a stock up and stock down of a few of our players. And then lastly, I'm just going to be talking about what the USA now needs to get into the round of 16 of the World Cup. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright guys, let's start this off with a quick summary of the game. And before the game had actually even started, the USA rolled out probably the best 11 that I have seen in a long time. USA had a lot of hope going into this game. We've never really seen a lot of our great players being able to start at the same time. Usually someone is injured or something, and so that gave a lot of promise to the team. But anyway, the game starts and we get some very early yellow cards. You know, the ref kind of showed that he was going to be consistently inconsistent, which, you know, was a theme throughout the game. Obviously, the USA did have a very dominating first half. Sargent had a header that went off the post, and then eventually, as we all know, Pulisic had the great dribble, played a ball into Timothy Weah, and he scored with the outside of his foot shot. USA played a great first half, went into the half 1-0, and then things kind of switched up in the second half. Wales was the dominating team, and then obviously Walker Zimmerman slid into Gareth Bale. You know, he had his back to goal. You just don't really do that as a defender, but Gareth Bale wins the penalty. He takes his own penalty. He obviously scores, and the game ends 1-1. I think it's a fair result. Neither team really did enough to deserve all 3 points. So what can we take away from that game? Well, the first thing is we had some really poor use of substitutes. You know, Greg Berhalter used all 5 subs, and obviously McKennie and Serginho Dest were going to come off. That was kind of planned, as those guys were kind of injured going into that game. But our subs were just not, you know, positively impactful to this game at all. None of the 5 guys that came in really did anything good. Obviously, Morris came onto the right wing to replace Timothy Weah, which, you know, had me scratching my head. I think most people were kind of in the same situation. We had Reyna on the bench. We did not use him. Now, Greg Berhalter said that he chose Morris for his speed and power, which I'm pretty sure Reyna is faster than Morris and a more physical presence. He's taller and he's really good in the air. So I don't know, just not really making much sense from Berhalter there. Some people are saying, you know, maybe Reyna was hurt. Reyna said he was 100% before the game, and Greg Berhalter really didn't say anything to make it seem like, you know, Reyna was hurt. Also, our adjustments were just really bad. We have to be better in the future. You know, we obviously had the better players in the first half. We showed that. Then we went into halftime, and I don't know. I just not really sure what the plan was. It seems like we were just playing not to lose, and really we didn't push for another goal. I don't know. So yeah, we need better adjustments. I think that one is also kind of on Greg Berhalter. And then Pulisic, I love the guy, but we got to get him off of set pieces. Obviously, Wales identified him as a threat. They were fouling him, you know, throughout the whole game. He was the most fouled player, but then we didn't do much with it. He was taking, you know, the free kicks in the corners, and I don't know, his set piece delivery was just not ideal. Hopefully, if Aronson or Reyna are starting the next game, those guys can be on corners and free kicks or stuff like that. And then obviously our 9 is still a big issue. Sargent didn't impress me. You know, he didn't do enough. Obviously, we had Ferrer on the bench. I'm not a huge fan of him either. And then Haji Wright just, you know, wasn't really getting any chances. So that is a big thing for us. I actually don't know if any of our strikers are going to score a goal in the World Cup. And, you know, I think that is a big issue. Any team that's going to get far in the World Cup, you know, you have to have a guy you can rely on to get some goals. But with that being said, let's go ahead and do some stock up and stock down. So the first player I'm going to give a stock up to is going to be Tim Ream. Now, Tim Ream has been, you know, a player that I've wanted back in the USA for a while now. It just makes sense. He plays at Fulham with Anthony Robinson, the left back. They play next to each other for club. Bring them back into the USA squad so that way they can be playing next to each other there as well. He's just looked really good throughout the game, got a lot of tackles, interceptions when we needed it. You know, a lot of people are concerned of his lack of speed, but I think he makes up for it just with his tactical awareness of the game. And so Tim Ream gets a stock up for me, starting his first game for the USA in a long time, and I thought he did great. Now the next player is going to be Walker Zimmerman, and Walker Zimmerman is obviously going to get a stock down. He fouled Gareth Bale, really dumb defending there to give a penalty. Now if you go back to that play, the ball did not go out of bounds and Wales picked it up. So, you know, the penalty never should have been given. Like I said, pretty bad officiating, but in the end, Walker Zimmerman did give a very dumb slide tackle to Gareth Bale, who had his back turned to goal. They scored, made the game 1-1. Zimmerman is going to get a stock down. Now, the next player is going to be Timothy Weah. Now, Timothy Weah is a guy who a lot of people have, you know, on the bench. They want to see Reina starting at the right wing. But obviously, whenever you start and you score like that, it makes you really hard to put back on the bench. So Timothy Weah is going to get a stock up from me. He scored a goal, you know, obviously helped us get a result in that game. So Timothy Weah gets a stock up. And so before I get into how the USA can qualify for the round of 16, I do want to say a little side note. Now that Wes McKennie, Serginho Dest, Kellen Acosta, and Tim Ream are all sitting on a yellow card, they are one yellow card away from serving a one-game suspension. So if any of them play against England, get another yellow card, they will be sitting out against Iran. But let's talk about how the USA can get into the round of 16. So if things go how they're expected to go, England beat USA and then Wales beat Iran. Technically, England and Wales could pull kind of a West Germany, Austria, where a tie benefits both of them. England, you know, would take the top seed and Wales would probably just be happy to get through. But it is still kind of a race between the USA and Wales. They obviously have common opponents in England and Iran. And right now it's going to be probably going down to goal differential, assuming they both lose to England, both beat Iran. It'll be whoever can have better goal difference. If one of them can get a result against England, you know, that'll be very nice. Obviously, it's going to be tough. They showed that they were really good against Iran, and they're just one of the top teams in this whole tournament. But if either of them can get a result against England, you know, they're likely to go through. And then obviously you have to get that win against Iran, or I don't think they'll go through. So we will see what happens in the second round of games. But basically, if they, you know, do have the same results, whoever has the better goal differential will end up going through. So with that being said, that is going to be my recap of the USA and Wales. If you like this video, you know, please leave a like, comment on your thoughts of the game, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will continue to keep you guys updated through this World Cup. So I will see you guys next time.